They say wise men speak because they have something to say.
Yeah, they also say fools speak because they have to say something.
Well,
here we are.
Yeah, you bit that one.
Well.
Relax.
Let's move on to our next thing, which is some weather related stuff. Like,
yeah, I was in my house. I think I was in my man cave, and suddenly I had this blaring alert on my phone.
Oh.
And I looked down, and for the first time in my life, I'm from California. I lived in Miami, Florida, South Florida for 12 years. First time in my life I've ever received a tsunami warning alert.
Yeah.
And so I guess there was an earthquake up in off the coast of somewhere in Northern California, maybe Humboldt area or somewhere up there.
Mm-hmm.
And
they were thinking it was going to be a tsunami?
They were thinking there was going to be a tsunami.
Yeah.
Bugged out.
Well, this first clip, let's play this clip.
Parts of California were hammered by severe storms yesterday. A tornado touched down in the town of Scotts Valley. That's about an hour south of San Francisco. Yes, San Francisco.
Right down the road.
Captured on this surveillance video from a local bar and grill. You can see it there, and you can see the damage left behind. Trees snapped in half. Cars damaged by flying and falling debris. Police say 5 people were hurt. Some residents say they're just happy they lived through it.
To be honest with you, I thought this could be the end of my life.
Ooh.
It was that strong.
I heard someone scream, "There's a tornado!" So I ran out to the window to see, and there were things flying around.
That's not smart, by the way.
Cars making a bunch of noises.
So that's outside San Francisco, but nearby downtown San Francisco experienced its first tornado warning.
That's what you're talking about.
History. The National Weather Service says ultimately it did not find evidence a tornado actually touched down, attributing much of the damage from that storm to straight line winds of up to 80 miles an hour.
Yeah, there's actually both a tornado warning and a tsunami warning.
Yeah.
And so for those of you that don't live in California, we don't have tornadoes in California.
Yeah, we have earthquakes.
This is non-existent. Yeah. So there's a lot of environmental things that are happening that we've seen this year that are absolutely strange. One of them is that they're catching bluefin tuna outside of the Golden Gate.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought they were supposed to be on the East Coast.
Primarily, from what I know. But yeah, they're out there, and so right now it's crab season in the Bay Area, and right now nobody's catching crab. Usually we have tons of them.
Yeah.
Right now nobody's catching crab. I believe it might have something to do with the temperature of the water.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know what the, there is impacts of the climate, with us being here and all these other things that are happening on an industrial level. There is impact. So, I don't know. This is just off topic, but I don't think people really understand that the possibilities of the weather change. Right? There was a time many years ago in Montana where the weather changed 100 degrees in one day in a 24-hour period.
Yeah.
And it's actually in the Guinness Book of World Records. Yeah,
we'll speak on that. Let's play this second clip that we have here.
A whole lot of questions tonight after a tsunami warning in Northern California ordered millions to flee the coast yesterday. Well, that turned out to be a false alarm. So we wondered just how accurate are these alerts and what would happen here?
Good question.
We got one in Southern California. Let's go to KCAL News reporter Tom Waite live in Marina Del Rey. Tom, what did you find out?
Well, Jasmine, the answer is pretty complicated, but experts say that they think that local officials did the right thing because they just didn't have a ton of information when the earthquake happened. But in terms of what would happen here if we got one of those alerts, well, just picture being in Friday traffic like we were tonight on the 405. It's gridlock. It's so packed you can't get anywhere. So what would happen if you got a tsunami alert while you're sitting on the 405 on a Friday night? Friday night traffic on the 405. Total gridlock. Imagine getting a text with a tsunami warning telling you to evacuate while you're trapped in this. If you think it can't happen, just rewind 24 hours. Check out this tweet from Berkeley in Northern California after Thursday's massive 7.0 quake off the coast. The city of Berkeley has issued an evacuation order due to a tsunami coming to West Berkeley. Evacuate now. People in the tsunami zone are in immediate danger.
Because of the traffic here, you just imagine that everybody wants to rush out.
Shirok Saleh lives very close to the coast. We asked him what he thinks would happen if an evacuation warning went out in LA during Friday traffic.
What will happen?
On a Friday night, you can't even get down the 405.
Yeah, man. It's already traffic everywhere.
On a regular day.
Thursday's quake
Yeah.
was Cape Mendocino. It's a hatchery of the most abundant large earthquakes.
Hey, you could cut
anywhere
that,
in
John.
California.
It's a transform, a strike slip fault, just like the San
So,
Andreas.
for me,
It's offshore.
This kind of
The
thing
quake hit on an
happening,
extension of the
and
San
they're
Andreas.
sending out all these warnings. There's an aspect of, hey, yeah, you should let me know that something's about to happen. There's the other side of it that is, oh yeah, you let everybody know that something's gonna happen. All of a sudden, is wide chaos gonna happen?
You would think that, but it's my belief because like I've been in quite a few situations where where stuff hits the fan, and you'd be surprised that there's a larger portion of people that will actually freeze up and not do anything. You know what I mean? So like there's gonna be
Yeah,
panic.
for the first.
Because we have volume, right? There's a ton of people. You know what I mean? So you're going
Yeah.
to see it. But you'll be surprised at the volume of people that will just be scared in their houses.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's some people like that if somebody
Understood.
comes into your house that's gonna hide in the closet.
Yeah.
And,
I'm
there-
one of 'em.
And then there's other people that are going to confront them and meet them with whatever they
Yeah.
want to meet them with. So,
So the big questions are, is it these warnings come out? What are you supposed to do? And for most people, like this didn't even happen. It was a fake warning, right? It was a warning that they had a reason to do it, but in the end, the tornado didn't happen, and in the end, the tsunami didn't happen.
the tornado that did happen, to me, was scarier than the tsunami thing because I don't know. I'll have to look up and see like what the history is of tsunamis where we live.
Yeah.
But
Not
I've never
much.
seen a tsunami. No. I've seen a bunch of earthquakes.
Yep.
Never seen a tsunami. But one time I was in a tornado, and it's scarier than anything.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've been in hurricanes,
Nobody talked. Yeah, I've
Hurricanes
been
are-
in countless hurricanes.
Yeah,
more
me
than I
too.
could count. But
but that's
I
not that bad.
didn't hear anybody talk about the sound of the tornado. To me, that's the scariest thing. This sounds like a train is on top of you.
Oh yeah.
Power, dude.
Yeah.
It's insane.
So, talking about hurricanes, tsunamis, earthquakes, makes me think of the 1989 World Series earthquake. I actually wore the hat today, and so this is something that we both lived through,
Yeah.
right? You were what, in San Francisco at the time?
I was in San Francisco.
You didn't come to South City yet. We didn't get to meet yet.
No.
So we're both 8 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. So for me, I was actually, you know what, John, play the clip and we'll show them where I was. So this is the Bay Bridge series, the Giants versus the A's. Of course, you wore the A's hat today,
Of course
bro.
I did. This park is no longer there, by the way. They tore it down.
They tore it down. We used to street race behind it, though. Hey, right over is right. Hey, pause that. Oh,
Candy Maldonado. Wow. That's crazy.
right over his right shoulder is where I was sitting with my dad.
Was that Ricky?
Oh, that. So that's when the earthquake hit. Yeah, so you could pause this. So I was sitting with my dad. I got to miss school because my dad got World Series tickets, and we're sitting in the bleachers in right field. It was right over the guy's shoulder that was speaking is where we're sitting. And I remember it was so loud there because the Giants had lost the first 2 games in the series. So we were being swept by the A's, right? And the A's, I don't know if you remember back then, but their team they were good.
Shout out Ricky Henderson.
Yeah, exactly.
The GOAT.
They were really good. So, so when it started shaking, everybody was so loud, and then it started shaking, and there was like a moment of silence where people were like, what? And then after it stopped, everybody started saying, shake this place. And others were saying, we will rock you. We will rock you. Yeah. Yeah. They just started chanting. And you know, everybody shook, right? We're on the bleachers. All of a sudden, people are like stomping. Boom, boom. And my dad.
What a reaction.
He was scared.
Hell yeah.
This shit, something's
like,
gonna happen.
Don't you guys know
here.
what's going on right
Yeah.
now? Today's episode is proudly sponsored by Zenergy, an exquisite energy supplement designed to nourish both body and mind. Zenergy combines the tranquil, stress-relieving benefits of kava with the focused, energizing properties of kratom extract. This refined fusion provides a smooth, sustained energy that calms the mind while sharpening your focus. Zenergy offers an unparalleled experience of clarity and poise. If you're interested in this product, go on drinkzenergy.com. That's drinkxnergy energy.com. Thank you again, Zenergy. We appreciate you guys.
So everybody's going crazy. They're all pumped up for the game. The earthquake happens. They say over the loudspeaker, we may ask you to come onto the field. I'm like, Dad, let's go on the field. Let's go on the field.
He's like, we getting up out of here.
He literally grabbed me by the shirt, pulled me, and we started, trekking out of there. Now on the screen here, you see there's this is a little map quest. The B is Candlestick Park, right? And A is El Camino High School. So I lived 1 block from El Camino High School where both Nathan and I went to high school. And so it's essentially, it says 7 miles from there to there. Well, getting out of the stadium and to my house, it took us like 5 hours.
Oh,
right?
Man.
And I remember we got back and, everybody's still in shock, right? All the lights are out on the street. In fact, my mom started putting together, we had all the camping gear, my dad hunted and fished, camped and all that. So started putting out and making chili for the whole block. So next thing you know, they got the radio. You remember when they used to have radios? They had the radio out there and everybody's sitting around in the camping chairs, eating chili, people from the block coming up and down, making sure everybody's okay, handing out little candles because, lights are out, right? And then, John, could you play this next clip that we have here?
Now, when the earthquake struck, there was some minor panicking down below in some of the mezzanine sections, but just about all of the folks were able to make their way out of the ballpark without any injuries.
Well, you see what's happening.
Make their way out as well, escorting their families to buses. But the main story, as Marlo just pointed out, was in the rest of the Bay Area. In the East Bay, it was on the Nimitz Freeway.
That's
the
right.
80 interchange, the Cypress interchange, not far from the Oakland Coliseum, where the interchange collapsed. Now, the latest figures we have
literally car
is
squashed
that
under
at least 100 people died in that mishap. Earlier, we had reports of that figure going up to about 200.
Yep.
They're still not exactly sure how many people were injured. At least 100 fatalities, at least 400 injuries as a result of that terrible tragedy in the East Bay of the San Francisco Bay Area. The Nimitz Freeway is closed down. Along with the Nimitz, of course, also the Oakland-San Francisco Bay Bridge.
The Bay Bridge.
I forgot the Nimitz was even a thing.
Yeah, so during the World Series, That is the only time that the San Francisco Giants got to the World Series against the Oakland A's. In the middle is the Bay Bridge.
And that gets shaken, and
And
the
literally
upper deck collapsed.
Collapsed to the bottom
so
deck.
It's a funny thing. So I was there in the city. I was in San Francisco at our house on 22nd and Bryant. We're sitting on the stairs in front of the house. I was sitting at the bottom of the stairs. My dad was at the top. You know, mostly every day, that's kind of what we did after school. Was like, you know, after we play or whatever, do our homework, we sit outside and eat ice cream, and Dad drinks a beer. Well, my brother had gone downstairs to do something, and we were sitting there on the stairs. And when it first happened, my brother was coming up the stairs, and my dad said, "Damn, bro, you gaining a little weight there?"
Because it was shaking.
He started to feel the little shake.
Yeah.
And then it went from a little shake to a really big shake.
Yeah.
And I distinctly remember seeing the road
Moving
wave
up.
like water.
Yep. Other people told me that.
Like water, man. And the power lines were just going
Yep.
crazy. And a piece actually broke off of our house.
Oh, really?
It fell down. Yeah, like
wow.
nothing crazy, like not even a whole 2x4, but like a trim piece.
Yeah.
You know, but still, it was like, damn.
Something.
And I remember that after that happened, I was with a Green Beret.
Yeah.
There was
you
no-
were probably the safest
There was
person.
there was no panic. There was none of that. Dad got his arsenal right first things first, and then he had a TV.
Oh, one of those little ones, yeah.
The little TV that's about a 7-inch screen, 6-inch screen, and he plugged it in. So my dad had a 1976 Cadillac Coupe de Ville that he got from a job that he did. And he plugged it into the cigarette lighter in the Cadillac.
Oh, yeah.
Then we had the news. Then we
Yeah.
found out.
What happened?
They're like, the Bay Bridge just collapsed. And we were like, bro, we didn't know. We thought the whole Bay Bridge fell. We didn't know what was going
exactly.
on. And so Dad cooked spaghetti and hot dogs for the whole block.
Yeah, so same thing was going on at your crib.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. That definitely was a time that it brought everybody closer together to realize we're all in this together.
Yeah, man. We all
You know?
we got, man.
Yeah. That sentiment is what I believe we need to do today in our world now is bring everybody together because we are all in it together.
It's unfortunate, though, that when we're doing good, we don't feel like we need anybody. And some of us don't think about the people who may need us. And
or actually who helped you to get to you doing good.
or that.
People all of a sudden forget how they actually got there and what it took to get there.
Yeah, you can't get anywhere in life without people.
We're all a part of it.
You know, like you could be an introvert. You could be someone that's like, you know, not into, you know, having a whole bunch of conversation, being around a whole bunch of people. But look, if you want to do anything outside of just surviving, if you would like to thrive in life, you know, and you know, live in a great sustainable way, you need some people around you.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Wow, that's a good point, man. That's a good point. You know, hey John, can we do the most extreme weather change now? I think oh yeah, here it is. Okay, so this is, you were talking a little bit earlier, Nathan, about the craziest temperature change in literally one day.
Yeah, it was in I believe it was in Browning, Montana, which is actually the Blackfeet Reservation.
Yeah.
So when they colonized and did all that stuff up there, so the Blackfeet and the Seminoles, if I'm not mistaken, are the only two tribes that didn't lose and they didn't quit. So they got treaties with the government, if I'm not mistaken.
Gotcha.
But they pushed the Blackfeet all the way up there into the corner of Montana, and the Blackfeet actually share the reservation with another tribe that's like Blackfeet, kind of Blackfeet, but they're in Canada.
Okay.
So the Blackfeet reservation goes through Canada, and I'm not certain of the exact figures, but it was literally 100 degrees in a 24-hour period. So this has happened before on Earth.
Yeah, that they went from, it says, negative 49 degrees Fahrenheit to 56 degrees. Is that what it was?
That's what it was, and I think it might have been broken since. I'm not positive on that, but this is extreme, but it is possible.
And to have temperature changes.
Yeah, and I'm 100% certain that the people that were there at that point in time thought the world was coming to an end.
Oh, when it
I'm sure
went
that
from
this
one
is
to
not
the next,
something
yeah.
that happened frequently. It's not something that ever
Yeah.
happens, but when it does, this is possible. So looking at different isolated incidents in weather, I don't know if that's the best gauge to determine whether or not it has to do with climate change.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You know what I
either.
mean?
But that's how
but
we're
I don't
currently
know, I don't
doing
know
it.
that. That's a question
Yeah.
I'm asking. Like, I don't know that. I'm just
Well,
wondering.
So growing up in the city, right?
Mm-hmm.
We learned that if it's 85 degrees out and you're hot as hell, you still bring your big jacket, right?
Mm-hmm.
You still bring a sweatshirt.
Yeah, San Francisco. Yeah, so San Francisco. It was Mark Twain, right? That said the coldest winter that he ever spent was a summer in San Francisco, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And it's like that. Like, it's so random, the weather over there, man. It could change at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
So
And so we learned growing up, no matter where you went, you always had a hoodie. A lot of times you had a hoodie and a parka, right?
Yeah.
And you were comfortable even if it was hot wearing that stuff because, well, in the next hour, all of a sudden that fog might just come in and then you're colder than if you were sitting in Lake Tahoe.
That's right.
Because it goes straight through your bones.
Yeah, I remember walking to school, like being a crazy kid walking to school with no shirt on in the fog, going to Sunshine.
Yeah.
And it was just like,
Yeah, you're insane. Yeah.